I'm Dana Schachter of Soul Sanctuary. Today I'd like to offer you a short prenatal yoga class. I call it my prenatal yoga tune-up. But the truth is that you don't need to be pregnant or have any previous yoga experience to do this practice or experience its benefits. As in any time that you're practicing yoga, it's important to listen to your body first. If something doesn't feel right to you, back off. Especially during pregnancy, this is not the time where you want to really be muscling and pushing through things, but rather it's an invitation to tune in to your body's wisdom and really trust your intuition. For this class, you'll need 2 blankets or a pretty firm pillow to sit on, as well as a block. The block isn't necessary, but can be useful. So if you have it, great. If you don't worry about it. Let's get started. So let's begin sitting together, attuning to our breath. I want you to find a comfortable seat. And so if when you're sitting you find that your back is rounding or your knees are way up high, you want to use either one or both of your blankets to sit on. And you want to place the blanket so that it's just underneath your bottom so that your thighs can descend. And then reach back and maybe give a little tug of the flesh of the butt out of the way so that the sit bones at the bottom of your pelvis are pointing straight down into the ground. This will help align the rest of your spine most optimally. Please close your eyes. And take a moment to tune into your breath. Feeling this life-giving, nourishing breath that not only feeds you, but that also feeds your baby. As you attune yourself to your breath, you merge with a deeper pulsation and flow within yourself. Maintain that connection to your breath as you bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Press your palms evenly into each other. And as you exhale, bow your head towards your heart and towards your baby. Lifting your chin once again parallel to the floor. Float your eyes open. With your next inhalation, push back through your elbows. Exhaling, push out the walls. Inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, hands to your heart. Again, inhale, push back. Exhale, stretch out. Inhaling, reach up. And exhale, return to the heart once again. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Exhaling out. Inhaling up. And exhaling to your heart. As you stretch back through the elbows, draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Press through the wrists so that you stretch through the heels of the hands. Inhale, reach up, and exhale to your heart. One more breath here. This time, inhale, push back. Exhaling, stretch out. Inhale, reach up. And now, as you exhale, take your right hand to the floor beside you and exhale, lean to the side. Keep your pelvis nice and rooted so both sit bones stay anchored to the ground. And if you'd like to increase that side bend, walk your bottom hand slowly out and lean deeper to the side. Nice deep breathing. Using your inhale, rise up. And exhale, take it up and over to the other side. Again, pelvis firmly anchored, reaching through the tips of the fingers and breathing. Inhale as you rise back up to center, and exhale. Bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart in Baddha Konasana. So your heels aren't going to be super close in. Give yourself a little bit of space so you move it out slightly away from the pelvis. Press your feet into each other and fan the toes apart so there's a tone all the way up through your inner thighs. And then reach back since you changed your leg position and give that little tug, again, the flesh of the buttocks so that you maintain that rise on top of your sit bones. Hands clasping the front of your shins. You're going to circle your torso so that the movement is initiated from inside the pelvis. Unwinding tension in your low back and starting to open your hips here. And then you'll circle the other direction. And then coming back to center. Let's have you shift onto your hands and your knees. So you'll place your knees hip distance apart. A little bit more space if you need more room for your baby. And your hands shoulder distance apart with the fingers spread. Press through all the knuckles at the base of your fingers and the finger pads to distribute the weight evenly through your palm. Tune into your breath. And as you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. And inhale, as you gaze forward, softening between the shoulder blades. Exhale, round the spine as you push against the mat, lifting the sides of the ribs. Make sure not to overarch your back, so you don't want to collapse and let the baby pull on your spine. So give a little scoop of your tailbone at the bottom of that movement so that you hug your baby in close. And exhale, round. So arcing the spine, and again, remember, give that little scoop to hug your baby in and not overstrain your low back. Exhale and round. And then we're going to start to open it up so that you start to make it more fluid. Imagine that you had a paintbrush on the tip of your tailbone and paint circles on the wall behind you. Getting some nice fluid movement through the hips. And you can even move that all the way through your spine, bringing your head and your shoulders into it. And then you'll go the other direction. And then come to a neutral spine. So hard is soft. Again, little scoop of your tailbone so that your baby is snug. And then you're going to start to walk your hands forward for downward puppy. Your hips are going to stay right where they are. And you're going to stretch your arms forward, keeping your hands pushing firmly into the mat to keep your arms engaged and your shoulders lifted as you soften the heart. Breathing here, that little scoop of your tailbone to elongate your low back. Biceps and ears aligned with one another. And you're always welcome to substitute this with a full downward facing dog. One more breath here. And then you'll walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and come to standing on your knees. You're going to step your left foot out to the side so that you make a 90-degree angle with the leg. And you want the heel of your foot, if you were to draw a straight line, to bisect the opposite knee. Bring your forearm to rest on the thigh. And with an inhale, stretch the opposite arm to the sky. And exhale, lean to the side for a modified Parsva Konasana. Breathing here, keep your tailbone rooted in so that there's a push down through the knee and your foot. Nice deep breathing. And then use your inhale to come all the way up. From here, take that hand to the side. So you can either come up on fingertips, or this is where your block can come in handy. You can place the block there and put your hand on the block. Stretching your other leg straight out, toes in the air. Inhale, reach the arm up, and exhale, lean to the other side. Having your hand on the block will give you a little more support, and you have several levels to choose from on the block, or you can even bring hand to the floor. Push through the ball of the foot as you reach through the fingertips. And then with the inhale coming up, bring your knee back to the other. Other side. Step your right foot out to the side. Again, heel lining up with your knee, forearm to the thigh. And as you inhale, reach the arm up, and exhale, lean to the right. Breathing here, keep your hips steady so that that left hip is right above your knee. Opening up the whole left side. And then inhaling up. Again, you can choose to use the block, or this time I'll show you without. Stretch the legs straight. And inhale, reach the arm up and over. Push through the ball of the foot so that you have a nice extension through the whole right side. And then exhale and release. Bring your knee back beside the other and take a seat on your heels. Now, if this causes any strain whatsoever for your knees, you want to give yourself more support. You can use that blanket again, or even both, to put between the thigh and the calf. And you can lift yourself up as much as you need to till it takes any strain out of the knees. And if it feels uncomfortable, just choose another seated position, cross-legged. And again, you want to make sure that you're up on top of the sit bones so that the spine is lifted. Stay attuned to your breath. And then inhale and stretch your right arm up. Bending the elbow, reaching for that shoulder blade. Take your left hand onto the elbow and draw it towards the midline. Plug the shoulder into the shoulder socket by pressing down on the elbow, and then take the sides of the throat back to open up the chest. Breathing here into the shoulder stretch. Make sure that as you take the head back that you're not flaring the front of the rib cage out, compressing the low back. So keep the front of the rib cage soft into the body and the tailbone down so there's no strain on your back. And then exhale to release. And switch sides. Inhale, left arm reaches up, bending the elbow. Take your right hand onto your elbow, bring it to the midline, press it down to plug in, and take the sides of the throat back. Again, tailbone long, nice deep breathing. With your next exhale, release the arms. Interlace your fingers behind your head. And bring your elbows slightly forward so that once again you can plug in your shoulders by hollowing your armpits. So you draw the elbows straight back behind you and you feel your shoulder blades more snug on your back. Keep them there as you begin to broaden your elbows. Tailbone lengthening. Press your head back against your hands to create a lift through the upper chest and opening your mid and your upper back. Again, really essential that you keep the tailbone lengthening here so you're not overarching the low back, but really looking to create the opening and the stretch through the mid back, upper back, and chest. One more breath. Inhaling Bring your head back to center and exhale. Release your hands. Swivel both your feet to the side and take a seat with your bottom on the ground. You're going to extend one leg out to the side and bring the other leg into a half straddle. So again, you might choose to use your blankets here if you find that your back is rounding and it's hard to get upright and centered on your pelvis. So again, if you choose to use the blankets, 1 or even 2, however many you need to feel like you can get upright through your spine here. And it goes just underneath your bottom so that your thighs can descend. You're going to reach back and adjust the pelvis. And then you want to make sure on the leg that's extended that your toes and your kneecap is pointing straight up to the sky. One of the ways in which we can assist with doing that is manually. Reach your hands around to that leg, one hand underneath, one hand to the inside, and turn it so that you're literally just above the knee, turning the thigh, and you keep going all the way up till you get to the hip. And that's going to have a straight line and connection from hip all the way to foot. If you're having a hard time doing that, that might also be an indicator that you need a blanket underneath the hips. Once your leg is situated, you're going to place your hands to the floor behind you and sit up nice and tall. Connect to your breath. With your next exhalation, you're going to begin to hinge forward from your hips. So you can walk your hands forward, and you might feel that this is quite a lot of stretch just being upright. So if it is, stay here. If you have the ability, you can start to come forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch all the way through the inseam of the thigh, through the hamstrings, and possibly even into your low back. Stay with your breath and take your time. Let things unfold naturally and in its own time. If you're feeling fairly comfortable here and you want to deepen it, start to walk further forward, maybe coming towards forearms and elbows. Stretch your spine long out of the hips, but keep your hips anchored to the ground. Nice deep breathing in a Janu Shirshasana variation. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, walk your hands back. And you're going to switch sides. So one leg folds in, and the other one extends out. Bring your heel, when you fold that leg in, close to the center of your pelvis, if not even towards the inside of the thigh of that bent leg, so that there's a nice spacing between your knees. And then again, you can turn the thigh in so that kneecap and toes are pointing up, and you're up on top of your sit bones. Breathe nice length through your spine, and exhale. Start to come forward. Again, take your time. Every side has its own story to tell, so don't be surprised if one side feels quite different than the other. Pelvis rooted, lengthen to the back of the skull, through the chest, and breathe. One more breath here. And then you walk your hands back once again and come to take a seat. And as you come to sit, I'll invite you to close your eyes once again. Noticing once again the rhythm of your breath. Place one hand over your belly and the other hand over your heart. Feel the connection that you share with your baby or babies. That will continue long after your baby leaves the womb. Your two hands join together as one at the heart. And as you exhale, bow your head to your heart. And to the heart of your baby. Namaste. Thanks for joining.